Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're doing something a little bit different as promised. Contenders or pretenders. We're going to start off with the Kansas City Royals. To this point, they are 31 and 19, and they have a 31% for rounding up their chance to win their division and a 58% chance to make the playoffs. Before we get into it, Blake, what's your initial reaction of the Kansas City Royals up until this point?
Yeah, they're kind of playing with some house money, right? They're in a weaker division. Everybody said it was going to be either the Twins or the Guardians, but we both said at the start of the year that this Royals team could be exciting, like an exciting team to watch. Obviously they're led by Bobby Witt and Salvi Perez. They're a fun team to watch. Their identity is pitching. They rely on the pitching a lot, which we'll get into in a second here, but yeah, it's been a very good start for this Royals team.
Yeah, let's take a look at just their roster as a whole. Not too many home runs, right? Like you're looking at Salvi Perez leads the team with 9 home runs.
Yeah.
That's not really where they're making it happen here. They're one of the best teams in the league at scoring late in games. I saw a stat past the seventh inning. That's when they're doing most of their damage.
Mhm.
I mean, nobody's really, I mean, average wise, OPS wise, we'll get there in a sec. I mean, Bobby Witt, Salvi have been doing most of the damage there. But yeah, they just had some timely hitting. If we head over to their stat leaders here, let's see if I can get there. If it lets me. Let's go to the player side. You know, they like I said, I mean, Bobby Witt and Salvi pretty much leading the charge there.
Yeah.
Walks wise, Pascantino's been getting on base. OPS wise, you're looking at guys that let's see, all players. We're looking at Salvi, Bobby Witt, Michael Massey, who I don't know much about, but
Right.
looks like he hasn't struck out very much, only 15 times this year. But that's kind of been their identity. Like you said, pitching wise,
Yeah.
Seth Lugo is 7-1 with let's see, a 1.79 ERA. Alec Marsh, Brady Singer, Cole Reagans, who's their ace, has a 3.70. It's the fourth highest ERA in their rotation.
Yeah.
So pitching has killed it for them. As far as saves go, James McArthur, he's 11 for 14. Um, we have Chris Stratton 3 for 4. They're pretty much making their opportunities count when they get to that ninth inning. Um, Other than that, I mean, let's take a look at what it looks like, what it looks like on the team side. Strikeouts, they don't strike out at all.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's kind of their identity. Stolen bases, they're in the top 49. They're sixth in the league.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really where this team is getting things done here. But
Well,
what
if
do
you go to
you think?
RBIs too, if you go to RBIs too, like they cash in a lot of runs. Like they're fourth in RBIs, right? I'm pretty sure they're up
Yeah.
there in OPS too. So, um, man, for me, I didn't see this kind of start for Salvi Perez. Everybody like he's been a very consistent player, but we're almost in June here, and he's hitting 340 with almost 40 RBIs. And I mean, he's kind of outdoing father time, right? I mean, he's getting up there in age, but boy, he's still producing like an elite catcher. So that's been great for them. And obviously you got Bobby Witt there too. So do you got anything to add here, or should we jump into the schedule?
Let's look at their pitching real quick. I think we don't want to overshadow that.
Yeah.
ERA side looks like Kansas City is eighth in the league there.
Yeah.
Let's see how they're doing on strikeouts. Let's see if they strike out a lot of guys. Looks like they're not really. I mean, no, when you see them, they're
Yeah,
21st in
21.
strikeouts, so they're not getting it done. Kane guys, let's see what they are in walks. We want to see it the other way. See where we're at. They're 13th in walks, so middle of the pack. So they are walking some guys. Home runs allowed. We're looking at, let's see here. They've only given up 41 home runs, which is fourth best in the league.
Yeah.
So keeping the ball in the ballpark. Obviously, they play in Kauffman Stadium half the time. That's going to help.
Yeah.
Walks, they're about middle in the pack, 13th. And they're not Kane guys, so they're really just relying on, I guess, double plays and flyouts in the general
Yeah.
baseball sense. But
Kind of pitching the
um,
contact too. They're
Yeah,
16
they
for
are.
21 and they're 16 for 21 in saves too, like you mentioned. So they're getting that done. They're locking down their saves. So
Yep.
yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a really good start for them. And we'll see if they can continue.
Yeah, let's go back to the odds real quick. They have the Guardians. They're only a game and a half back of the Guards, which is crazy because the Guardians were going off there for a minute.
Mhm.
Um, right now, as it stands, let's take the Twins out of this equation here. You got the Guardians winning the division or the Royals?
Oof. My gut tells me the Guardians because they got more experience. I think the Royals are a younger up and coming team. Still got some vets like you mentioned there, but m my gut probably says the Guardians for sure.
Okay. I might go with the Royals here. I think that they obviously they spent the most money in baseball, which nobody would have guessed that
Mhm.
as far as contracts in the offseason. They've made some they got John Schreiber. They made little adjustments to their team that have paid big dividends. So I wouldn't count them out by any means. Obviously only a game and a half back.
Mhm.
But, you know, as we see here, 2% chance to win the World Series. When we mean contenders or pretenders, we mean contenders to make it to the playoffs. Obviously, once you get there, anything can happen. Look at the D-backs last year.
Mhm.
But right now, they got them at a 2% chance to make the playoffs. I'm interested to see what this team does at the trade deadline. Um, Obviously, we'll have a better outlook, but it's good to do this video right now before they make all those moves, kind of see if we were in or out at this time.
Right.
But yeah, let's go over to that schedule and kind of see what they got going, and then we'll make our verdict whether they're contenders or pretenders. Coming up, they're finishing off a series with the Tigers can sweep. It's been a pretty strong May. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Mhm.
You're shooting for 15 wins a month to hit that 90 win mark. Coming up, they have the Tampa Bay Rays, they have the Twins, and then they have the Padres at home. Road trip coming up. This Twins series should be a pretty big one, 4 game set. If we head over to June, like we said, Padres. Guardians, Mariners, Yankees, Dodgers,
Mhm.
A's, Texas, Marlins, Guardians. Okay, so a little bit harder of a June. You got the M's in there. You got the Padres. You got the Yankees. You got the Guards. You got the Rangers. You got the Dodgers.
Yep.
Luckily for them, they do have the A's and Marlins in there too. So if things aren't going as great as expected, um, they have those teams to kind of get back on track against. But after seeing that, because by the time we get to July, we're approaching the trade deadline.
Mhm.
Um, I guess we'll get your verdicts first. What is your initial thoughts on one, their upcoming schedule in June, and then two, is this team a contender or a pretender?
Yeah, I think we're going to see exactly what this Royals team is made of in the month of June. Some big games against some really good teams. I think this team is a contender. I think this team is going to make the playoffs. I really like their roster. I love their pitching staff. I would love for them to add a big time starter at the deadline just to kind of double down. Um, like you said, the D-backs last year, you don't need a huge payroll to have success. I mean, it's all about getting hot at the right time and having good pitching and timely hitting, and the Royals team has done a lot of the intangibles to be a winning team, and I think that can continue in moving forward here. So yeah, I like their chances to make the playoffs.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with contender with an asterisk. This is where I'm at. I think that ultimately there will be two AL West teams, two NL or AL East teams. I don't see two AL Central teams making the playoffs, even though as a whole that division's done better than the West. Um, I just think it's gonna be too hard for two teams to make it in the long run, especially as the schedule opens up as we see here, and they start playing some teams out of their division. With that said, I'm gonna go with contender because I think that they're gonna win the division. But if they don't win the division, I'm not feeling as good about my pick. But yeah, I think they are gonna win the division based off what I've seen. Um, so I'm gonna go. My verdict is contender for now.
That's good. I love it. It's good for baseball when teams like the Royals do well because it shows that hey, you don't have to have the biggest payroll to go for it, but here they are. It's good.
Yep. That's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll definitely be powering through some of these. We're also going to be doing panic or patience for some other teams that we thought were going to be good and just haven't been. So look out for those. As always, we appreciate you guys for listening, and we'll see you.